Capital Projects Levy is where we get the software, the technology, the classroom pieces, the science equipment, the band instruments, the actual capital assets that we use to move the school forward on a regular basis. How do we transition from teaching biology to teaching biochemistry, from biology to teaching microbiology? It takes different tools, different capabilities. We have to make sure we can make that transition. It's also about making administration efficient, and over time, it's what keeps the district current. It's what keeps us relevant with where education's going nationwide, where business is going nationwide.
We are extremely fiscally and financially responsible. When we set out a levy and we say we're going to levy funds from our taxpayers to pay for certain things, that's what we use it for. We don't divert it, we don't use it for any other purposes. We are very, very cognizant that we're dealing with taxpayers' money here. And just looking at the media materials that we've used Capital Projects Levy dollars to fund, education in its most fundamental state is reading, writing, and arithmetic, and that requires the books and the media sources that these kids use to learn those subjects and master them.
I think when a teacher needs something in their classroom or wants to do something innovative in their classroom, having the ability to give them those tools to then share those things with their students, that's really where the levy has played an important role.
I remember the first day that I saw those little mini netbooks, and I was just my mind was blown. I was like, whoa, everyone gets a little mini laptop, and it was really exciting. And then they've been adding more and more with the Chromebooks, and I see some teachers or administrators with iPads.
I think there was a time 20 years ago where if you were a teacher and you mastered the overhead projector, you were pretty set. And that just doesn't exist anymore. There isn't a tool that you can just master as a teacher and then be good to go from there. So that whole thing about lifelong learning, technology is helping to push us as educators.
I think technology has reinvented what I do. It's really allowed me to look at my teaching through a completely different lens. And it's really allowed me to reflect on what I do and to try to make what I do even better.
For students, what we see when we give them technology is that they really have more tools to create the kind of professional work that adults are creating, so that it raises the bar for them.
It's really engaging them as learners. One of my favorite things that happened last year, my son was in 3rd grade, and he came home one day after school and had to get on Google Docs because he and another friend were going to meet there as a writing club. So they were meeting at 5 o'clock on Google Docs, and they were writing a story. It was awesome.
So much of the knowledge that we used to think of back in the day as being things that kind of sage on the stage teacher conveyed is not really stuff that teachers need to convey anymore. Because if you can Google something in 3 seconds, it's probably not something you need to memorize. You need to understand the context of it. And that's what teachers can do. And then really spend more of their class time helping students dig into the deeper questions and making connections to other things that they're learning. That's an exciting part, I think, of technology.
The Capital Projects Levy has really allowed us to replace worn-out inventory. It's the things that our students use to make our art form, our instruments, and especially the large ones. As a district, we're committed to having those available for them to rent or to use, and they're quite expensive. So that capital levy that is expiring really is to help us to kind of whittle away a mountain of instruments from the 1950s and 60s that just are worn out. Music is so important for kids. It's such a valuable avenue for expression for them, to play with people, to give and take, to listen, to adjust, to be proud of something together, to fail at something even, and then try and make it better. The White Bear community plays a vital role in the success of our students in music. It's so much more fun to put on a concert when there's a live audience and response, or you're being cheered for at an athletic event, or the parents are standing up and jumping in the stands when the drumline is jumping at a football game. When a music program is successful, it gives the community something to be proud of, and it also produces great citizens.
The community is vital to the success of our school district.
The resources our community provides, the support that they provide, the partnerships that they're providing, all contribute to the success of our students.
They support our school athletics, they support our school extracurricular activities, our debate teams, all of that. And they really add to White Bear pride.
White Bear is one of the proudest communities I've ever been part of.
Yeah, I think there is a natural sense of pride living in White Bear Lake and saying, yeah, my kids go to White Bear Lake schools. Go Bears.
My husband, and when he and I met, he lived in St. Paul. I had a new house out in White Bear, and I said it was non-negotiable. If we're going to get married and have kids, it's got to be in the White Bear School District.
Having a strong school system, I don't see what could be higher, really, in a community.
If you have a well-functioning school system, you're attracting new residents. You're impacting the types of businesses that would like to locate into that community. You're impacting the types of activities that would be available within your community.
I frequently meet people who attended school here. And so it's a community that a lot of people return back to. And so I think when we prepare students successfully for the world after high school, that a lot of these students are coming back into our community, and they're our community leaders, and they're running businesses. And because we have that kind of culture here, that providing successful students back to our community is really important.
Everywhere I go in White Bear, I see that kind of passion about the community and commitment to the school. So it makes White Bear a very, very fun place to be.
Go Bears!